Today we're going to be taking a look at the Ruger LCP. This particular version of the Ruger LCP is the Arizona Centennial Edition that Ruger made for the Centennial of Arizona back in 2012. As you can see, it's got the markings on the slide there for Arizona 100 years. And the state flag with 1912 to 2012 on the other side. And on the top we've got the outline of Arizona with AZ inside of it. And we've got this special copper colored frame on the pistol. The LCP has been a popular choice over the last few years for concealed carry, pocket carry. Pistol is chambered in 380 ACP. This is a Fiocchi 95 grain full metal jacket round. We're going to be shooting some of those here later in the video. With this pistol I also have the Pro Mag 15 round extended mags, which are not exactly practical for concealed carry, but hey, they're fun to shoot at the range. Some of the general overview of the pistol. Let me rack it here. It is a double action only, so it's got a long trigger pull, and there it breaks. And nice long reset, and there you go. This pistol does have a viewing hole where you can see if the chamber is loaded. The sights on this pistol are pretty crude, but it is just intended for an up close and personal self-defense pistol. What you do get with the pistol from Ruger, and this goes for the standard LCPs as well as the Arizona Edition, you get one 6-round magazine. I have the extension on the mag, but you also get a flush mounted base plate as well. I have a second factory mag as well as the two, as I mentioned, 15-round Pro Mags. It does come with the case here from Ruger. Nice little storage case, throw it in your range bag, you know. Nothing fancy, but it gets the job done. The box for the Arizona Edition, of course, has the Made in Arizona for Arizonians on it. And inside you have the typical stuff, the manual, fired case, NRA booklet, all the usual warnings and paperwork and whatnot, and the Ruger lock. This is the flush mounted base plate I spoke of earlier for the magazine. You know, instead of the extended, you would just have the flush. Just push that in and slide it off, slide the other one on, and you got a flush mounted mag. Here you can see size-wise how the LCP compares to some of the other pistols out on the market and some from the past. Here we obviously have the LCP. This is the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 and 9mm compact, and about 1970 vintage Smith & Wesson Model 10 and 38 Special, snub nose, K-frame. We have an East German Makarov in 9x18, and the Colt 1911 and 45 ACP. As you can see, the Ruger is significantly smaller than all of the others. Now some of the features of the LCP. It does not hold open on an empty magazine like some other pistols you may be familiar with, but it does have the manual hold open, which I will try to demonstrate here. Like so. You can manually hold it open. I don't recommend using it as a slide release, although you can, but you are much better off just letting the slide go forward like so. You have your magazine release here, and the mag just drops free. You have a nicely checkered and finished grip. Front strap is checkered, as is the back strap. This is your hammer here. You are able to see the hammer as it goes back. And let me get that to the camera, and you can hopefully see that. As I said, these sights are pretty crude. They're not interchangeable. They are machined into the slide. But overall, it is a fun gun to shoot. I don't carry this particular piece, but I wouldn't mind getting another LCP to pocket carry. I just don't want to mess up the beautiful artwork that you get with the Arizona Edition. And as you can see, it is a small pistol. It just fits in the palm of your hand. So I'm back from the range with the Ruger LCP. One of the things that you will notice if you decide to purchase one of these guns, or if you already have one yourself, the main thing that you will notice is its size. It is a tiny gun, and I can only get a 2-finger grip on it. My pinky just kind of hangs down below, even with the extended base plate magazine. The other thing that you will notice is that long double action trigger. It is a long and heavy pull until it finally breaks, and it is a long reset until it won't fire again, which does make it a little more difficult to shoot, a little more of a challenge. But that's one of the things I like about this gun, is it is kind of fun to shoot. It's something different than your typical gun that's out there. You know, and the tiny sights sort of contribute to that, to the challenge of shooting the LCP. And for those reasons, I wouldn't recommend this for a new shooter. However, somebody who is more experienced, especially with double action, this is a great option for concealed carry. Also, the newer LCPs do have a shorter, lighter trigger. This one, being produced in 2012, does not. It was approximately 2013 that they switched to the shorter, lighter trigger. And those models can be identified because they do not have a dash in the serial number, as this particular example does. Also, with this pistol, I have fired approximately 400 rounds through it so far. I've fired, yesterday at the range, I had fired Fiocchi 95 grain full metal jacket rounds, had no issues. I've also had good success with Winchester white box 95 grain FMJs with no issues. Now, the first 100 rounds I fired through this gun were Aguila full metal jacket 95 grain, and I was having, usually every magazine I would have at least one failure to eject. I'm not sure, the rims of the cases were pretty well chewed up. I don't know if they were soft cases or what, and this Ruger just kind of tore them up. But that is something to consider with your ammo selection. My particular example did not like the Aguila 380. However, I had no issue with Winchester or Fiocchi. And now we are going to disassemble the Ruger LCP. What I like to do is I like to take a paper towel and get in behind the takedown pin here so that I don't scratch the finish on the slide. I'll try to do this with the camera in the way. Take our flat tip screwdriver, get in underneath the takedown pin and pull it out. And you do want to pull it back slightly on the slide. Pull out your pin, and the slide just comes off the end of the frame. Inside the Ruger is pretty simple. Take the magazine out there. Just like most other modern pistols these days. Has a double recoil spring. You can see there's two of them there. The barrel lifts up and out. It's got sort of this bulge at the end where it locks into the slide for better accuracy. And there's our slide. And this is what the frame looks like. It's just your pretty basic, typical modern pistol inside. This is your hammer. You can cock that back and you can see how that works. Pull the trigger and let it down there. Now to put it back together, we're going to take our slide, put the barrel in, put our springs back onto the guide rod, and go in like just like so. And there's a notch here on the barrel where the recoil pin, or guide rod rather, fits into. We put our slide back onto the frame. Now the tricky part is this little piece of metal in here. We're going to have to pull our slide back, and the takedown pin has to push that out of the way before it can slide in. And now it's back together. And that is the assembly and disassembly of a Ruger LCP. I hope you enjoyed the video today. If you don't mind, I would greatly appreciate it if you would comment and subscribe. Thank you very much.